Hi and welcome to Wrong Way. And today I'm going to tell you about 7 things you need to know in order to ride your PEV throughout the whole winter. So let me tell you more about it. Wrong Way. So actually it's not really 7 things, it's more like 7 segments. So we'll talk about, upper body, lower body, what you need to do to your PEV to keep it safe throughout the winter, and also some other tips and accessories that will come in handy during winter riding. By the way, all of these things are mine except for the showy helmet, and I purchased them or got them somehow, and I do use them throughout the winter. So let's start with the first segment, and that is the helmet. So there are different kinds of helmets for your PEV. I just use full face helmet because that's the way to go. This is a downhill bicycle helmet and this is a motorcycle helmet. So if you do have a bicycle helmet that you use throughout the year, then make sure to just get proper goggles so you can also use the helmet during riding in rain, and make sure that your goggles have double layered, glass or plastic actually. Then they will not fog up during the ride. It's always also better to get some contact lenses during riding in the winter, because if you have glasses, it's not comfortable to ride with goggles like that, and they also do tend to fog up. Another thing you can do to your helmet to make it a bit warmer during the ride is to cover up all the holes that are for ventilation, that are needed during the summer, but all of these holes here can be just, closed up with a sticker or some tape, and therefore you'll be much warmer in the winter. The second type of helmet is a motorcycle helmet. This particular one is the Shoei Glamster. Really like this one. All you need to do to this one basically is, because it has actually ventilation that you can close and open, is to get a pin lock visor. So you can see it's actually like 2 layers of plastic. Therefore, you will not have any fog building up from the inside of the visor. But if you do have some glasses, then your glasses can fog up. So once again, contact lenses are pretty cool in this case. In terms of overall practicality and riding in the rain, I will have to give it to the goggles to be just a bit more comfortable. You don't have to take the visor up and down all the time like on this one. And the goggles also do tend to fog up a bit less than a visor, and it's easier to speak throughout the goggles. So yeah, and in the same area, it's also highly recommended to get something like this to just keep your neck warm. This is where a lot of heat gets away. There are different kinds of these, and they're also practical during these times. There are also like ones with a bit warmer fabric down below, or you can just get a balaclava, and there are different kinds of these. For example, this one is up to your nose, but it's not really a super warm one. It's just for like 5 degrees Celsius. But when it gets really cold, I have this Pro Alpine Stars balaclava, and the thing that is amazing about it is, number one, it also keeps your nose warm, and there's a hole here to keep on breathing. And it has a very long, sleeve or just fabric going down here to not let any air or wind come through your jacket. So this helps a lot. You can always check if your gear is windproof just by trying to blow into it, and if no air comes through, then this means it's windproof. So this is like probably the warmest thing I would wear deep in the winter. By the way, Ginger on Wheels made this video first this year about winter gear. It's like, winter is coming, so the first thing we have on our minds is winter gear. So go check out Ginger on Wheels video on the topic of winter gear. He has some really nice points, really nice camera work, and also like stages of warm. So that's pretty cool to check out. So go follow Ginger on Wheels. So now let's talk about how we can keep our hands warm during the winter. And probably my favorite glove recently is this Giro Riders glove. It's pretty similar to the Hillbilly gloves that are also available in the US, and it just has a wrist guard here. It's not the warmest one, but until like 5-10 degrees, maybe 10 degrees more, it's pretty warm. It also has a bit of safety for your knuckles, and most importantly, it has a wrist guard built in. And guys, never ride without wrist guards. That's a message I want to send. So usually I just ride with these in the summer, but the cool thing is that you can actually fit another set of gloves underneath. Well, you can get just some regular, I don't know, I think I bought them in Chibo gloves, and then you can put a wrist guard on top of them. So you can just ride like this and you're warm and safe. Or when it gets really, really cold, then I have these gloves here. These are actually the heating rider. I made a separate video on those gloves that have a battery inside, and they also do heat you up with electricity. They have a battery mounted here, and you can press the button here to just get some additional warmth during the winter. So what I do then is I put them on, but they're quite a hassle to get on all the time, so I just use them when it's really cold. And then I just put over a set of Oxlo, which is a Decathlon brand, big, like pretty much oversized for me, wrist guards, and then I'm, you know, all safe and warm at the same time. So this is what you can do to keep your hands warm, and remember to always ride with wrist guards. Now let's talk about pants. So you can get a set of motorcycle pants and a motorcycle jacket for your PEV, but usually it's a bit of a hassle to just put them on. The plus sides of it is that usually they come with different layers, so I actually have a super warm layer for them, and if I put, you know, this layer, and even pants underneath, then it's extremely warm. But if you feel a bit too warm in these pants, then you can just open these parts, and then you'll get more ventilation in these pants. These are some Shima motorcycle pants. They also have hip protection, knee protection. Yeah, that's basically it. Also some pockets. You know, this is pretty cool, but usually I do not put them on because it's just a big hassle to get them over your jeans or your regular pants. And they have an additional zipper here where you can actually connect your Shima motorcycle jacket to the pants to keep you extremely warm. This is not how I usually ride in the winter. Usually in winter I just wear regular jeans or pants. I put a set of O'Neill knee pads and shin guards onto my pants for protection, and actually they also do keep you a bit warmer. Your knees won't be cold, or your shins. Sometimes I also do wear this safety shorts from Liat to keep my hips protected, and they also keep you a bit warmer. But if it gets really cold, you can get some, you know, leggings or whatever they're called to put underneath your pants, or just, you know, steal them from your girlfriend, and then you'll be extremely warm. I do also occasionally wear my waterproof motorcycle pants. Now they look really, really funny, and they actually have a hole here, which I just realized. But if it's raining, this is what just keeps you dry, and, you know, being wet in the rain makes you feel even colder. So this is a very cheap way for around like $40–50 in a set with a motorcycle, you know, waterproof jacket, but this is without protection. It's just for the rain, and this will keep you warm and funny looking. An important theme in all of this, you know, gear is also to have many reflectors and a bit brighter colors, because it gets darker sooner in winter, and you want to be seen at all times on your PEV. Now let's talk about our upper body and how you can keep it warm. So first thing to do is probably to get a, you know, Under Armour thing like this, a thermo active shirt or whatever it's called. It just keeps you a bit warmer during these cold days. And then the second thing on top of that is a pullover. The best stuff here is usually just mountaineering stuff. So this is just by Trespass, a pullover, and they usually do also have a membrane count somewhere on the side. So I think this one is 3,000 or something like that. Essentially, the higher the number, the less wind or air will come through. You know, just get a warm pullover from a mountaineering shop like, you know, High Mountain or Trespass, North Face or whatever, and this should keep you warm. Definitely a hoodie, like a regular hoodie, will most of the times not suffice in pretty cold weather. And then you can always see me in my white Shima jacket, which already isn't really white, it's more like gray, and with combinations of green, I guess. This jacket is what I wear at all times because it has protectors on your elbows, on your shoulders, and it also has a bit of a longer, you know, ending here, so if you fall on your back, then it also protects your ass, I guess. But I always also do wear my Bumblebee backpack, and that is also why I don't have any back protection installed in this Shima jacket. Now, the cool thing about this jacket, apart from having, you know, the protection in the various areas of the jacket, is that it also has another layer, which is a really warm layer that you put on when it gets really cold. So just, you know, have a zipper and zip it into the jacket. Now, the bummer about this jacket is that actually it's not waterproof, so over time the water will just soak through. Another waterproof layer that can be installed in this jacket, but your skin basically can't breathe in this one, so I just never use it. I just put on a motorcycle waterproof jacket on top of my jacket, and that works mighty fine, mighty better, because then my body can still breathe and I will not get wet from the rain. And if it gets really cold, like terribly cold, I also do have a vest like this. This is a really cheap vest. You can get it at Decathlon. This is from Decathlon. And the most important thing, once again, is that it doesn't let any air through. Also, a recurring theme throughout all this gear is that they should not let any air or wind through. They should be windproof or waterproof. And this is basically what gets you, because, you know, if you have a thick sweater like a pullover, and still air can come through easily because you just ride faster on EUC, e-skate, or an e-bike, then, you know, this doesn't help. But this will keep you warm, and it's also really easy to put on, and, you know, this will just keep you warm when it's really cold. Now let's talk about shoes and socks. When it comes to socks, just get warm socks. When it comes to shoes, I'm not really a big fan of motorcycle shoes because they really have a very flat sole. And in my case, or in my experience, it's really easy to slip off a scooter or a unicycle with these kind of boots. So these I don't typically wear. Instead, these are just my regular shoes I wear pretty much every day from Merrell. That's my favorite company when it comes to shoes. Most important thing is that they have a Vibram sole. This is a pretty hefty anti-slip sole. These are the Trail Glove 5 shoes, and therefore I just have way more grip on my unicycle or on a scooter. So this is what I wear typically when it's not really that cold. If it gets colder, and then I have these are the Merrell whatever mountain shoes, I don't know what they're called, but they also have this Vibram sole, which keeps you really planted on all of your electric devices. They have a really nice, you know, sole, and they're really warm. Only thing I would complain about is that they can get wet in rain, and, you know, the water soaks through them, so this is one downside. But other than that, most of the winter I will ride in these. But if it gets really cold, I have these. These are boots from Decathlon, which are totally windproof. You can see this is actually just rubber up in the front, and they also have a pretty grippy sole, and on the inside there's fluff and, you know, just warmth and coziness. So this is absolutely windproof. It's also higher. It will keep your shins pretty much warm as well, and yeah, really easy to open with the zipper here. And this is like the most warm thing I would wear in the winter on my EUCs or e-scooters or e-bikes. But clothing is not the only thing you should improve in the winter to just keep on riding. You definitely also need to improve your lighting on your electric device, or just have, you know, some handheld or like a headlamp you can put on. And this also helps a lot with indicating to people or cars that are most of the time not really that aware that a scooter or an e-bike might be coming, that you're coming. So this helps a lot. Or you can just, you know, glue on a O-light to your helmet, and this will help you a lot with, you know, just looking around and seeing all the obstacles on your electric device. When you're on EUC or e-skate, you can also get like a powerful, you know, Alibaba torch. This is also really cool, helps you out in the winter a lot, and it's also much safer. It's also recommended to get some additional lighting on like red lights on your helmet, on your backpack, on your electric vehicle, to also indicate that you are riding on the road. It's really just important to keep being visible in the winter. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is you need to also prepare your electric device a bit for the winter. If you have a scooter, make sure it's water sealed properly, especially the deck. Just put some silicone around the deck to keep it water resistant. You can also read on forums, that's what I highly suggest. In most electric unicycles, you're fine, you're good to go pretty much, and you can keep on riding through the winter. Another upgrade you can do to your PEV in the winter is just to change out the tire to a winter tire. So I hope these 7 areas, these 7 departments, 7 segments did help you out in your journey throughout the winter on your PEV. And if you're still here, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to see more content like this. I'll see you, my friend, in the next video. See you soon.